Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Aquaponics World. So today I am going to be taking the glowfish and putting them with the goldfish again. And the reason being is because right now I just cannot afford to get another one of those filters. And this little filter is just not doing anything. I mean, I can see some food is kind of stuck on the side here, like it might have caught some of it. But reality, like, I am having to clean this stuff up every day, and that's just gross. Like, I don't know whether these fish don't eat much or what. Like, I'm just barely putting in a little tiny pinch. But I'm just gonna use my net here and catch me a little fishy, if I can. Do my best here, not to injure anybody. Ugh, come on, guys. Well, this is going to be a fun video. One down, two to go. Two down, one to go. Come on, duder. Go with your buddies. Go with your buddies, dude. Come on. Don't be a scaredy. Got all three of them in there. Goldfish are moved over here now. They're stuck on this side. These guys are over here on this side. Neither one of them very happy about the situation, but it is what it is. I am done cleaning this nasty thing. Again, a reminder to new fish buyers, buy the big tank, buy the big pump. Much better, much easier to clean. So now I'm just going to show you guys what I'm feeding these guys. They both have different types of fish. We got the goldfish food and the tropical fish food. So what we're going to do is we're going to put both of them in the tank, and hopefully they will both enjoy their respective foods. And what I do is I feed them as much as the size of their eye. So their eye is pretty small, about that big. And there's three of them, so I put 3 pinches of each in there. And that's what we're doing with the feeding process. Just three little pinches like that. And we're gonna add some of these tropical fish flakes here. And since these guys are on this side, I guess might as well go ahead and put that in there. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is just a quarter water change out. I haven't done the filter. I didn't do the filter last time, and I'm not going to do the filter this time. I think probably 4 water change outs, like 4 weeks, after about 4 weeks or a month, I'll do the filter cleaning. But right now I'm just going to let these guys eat, and after I'm done doing the water change out, I'll be adding some Aquaponics fertilizer and changing the water out on my aquaponics plant or hydroponics plant. I really hate to fix what's not broken, because anything could happen. You know, the first thing I read online is that the water temperatures need to be different for the tropical fish, because these guys are tropical. So these guys, the goldfish, like colder water. The tropical fish like warmer water. We're talking about a difference of like 6 degrees. And I've never had a water heater in this tank. I don't have a chiller in this tank either. I keep it at about 78 in my house, and the water temperature stays about 78. So it's a little warm for the goldfish, and they seem to be fine. You know, I'm not trying to breed them or anything like that, so they seem to be doing okay. And the only other issues that I have is that maybe these fish will eat the tropical fish flakes, or they might eat the tropical fish. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this tote in back here so that we can take out a quarter of the water. I'm just gonna put this in here. We are gonna close the out and open up this valve here. Take out about a quarter of the water from the fish tank, which in the 50-gallon tank, that's about 10 gallons of water I'm going to be taking out. And then I'll scrub off the sides and put in some clean water. So once this gets filled up, I am just going to go ahead and shut this valve off and reopen this back up. And then I'm just going to take this water and just dump it out my window right here. So I am on the second floor. I'm not trying to carry it anywhere. Now with this guy here, I'm swapping out this water once a week so I can get some little bit more fresh fertilizer, aquaponics fertilizer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this water out of here, put it into that tote over there, about that much water, just enough to cover up the roots. And then I'm going to take this guy out of this tote with the bubblers, and I'm going to put him in that tote there with the water from the fish tank. So the main thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to overfill this bucket. I mean, you can always dump it back out, but what I want in here is just about an inch of water or so that I can swap my fish tank over here, or my swap my plant over. That might be a little bit shy of what I need here. That is literally about an inch. It goes up to my first knuckle, which is about an inch. So I'm not too sure exactly how many inches I want. We'll go ahead and test this out, see if it's enough water, and if not, I guess I'll get some more and add it to it. Here we have about an inch of water that I just got out of the fish tank and planting this one. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slide this over here. We're going to untake these bubblers here. Take those up in here. That's just, I don't know, they seem to like to move around on me for some reason, and I don't want them to move around too much. It's kind of like surgical tubing, you know? Something to keep the plants alive. And then we're just going to take this and move it into this bucket. Move this over here, move this over here, so that the string kind of lifts it up a little bit. And we're just going to put these roots in the water. right the way they were. Just make sure these bubblers are somewhat on these roots here. And it looks like I could probably add some water to this. Just a little bit more water here, because it looks like what I want to do is get it up to about right here. Oh, would you look at that? These tropical flakes are just a mess. They're freaking everywhere. You know, I think it really comes down to the type of food that I get. I would rather use the food that I've been using. What is that? I never noticed that before. Oh, I guess I just fed them and that just got stuck on the side of the glass when I drained the water out. Anyways, I like the food that I use for the goldfish because it's like pellets and they kind of float to the top and they don't move around too much until they eat them. I'm just going to try to reach my hand in here and mix all this stuff up so they'll eat as much as they can. And I've been noticing some of this food getting stuck on the plant. I don't know where I saw it earlier, but you know, it looks nasty in this plant here. So I'm just going to clean off these leaves a little bit while I do this. And yeah, these flakes suck. I like the pellets much better, but hopefully they'll eat some of it. Oh no. Alright, gotta put the plants back in here. Boy, these plants, they are really something else. They just do not want to stay in their hole. Get in your hole, plants. As you can see, I kind of got the roots set up so that the bubbler hits the roots. And the leaves go on the other side. But yeah, try to get these fishies to eat as much as they can of this before it goes into the filter. I think that's definitely the problem that I was having with the other fish tank. It's not so much the filter, it's the type of food that I'm using. It's wonky. But back to the plant. So I've got this pulled a little further away over this way so that the string will actually be pulling on it. As you can see now, the string's kind of on a slant here, so that it kind of pulls it in that direction up against that corner there. And yeah, I'm just going to add a little bit more water to this, because actually I need about that much water now. About as much as the roots are high, a good 2 inches. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water. Just going to try to get a couple more inches of water in here. Shut the out off. Open up this valve. And just try to get, I don't know, about that much more water so that I can pour that in there and add it to the plant. That should do it. So I'm just going to take this water here and I'm going to pick it up and dump it into this bucket here. Try to show you guys that. looks like about enough water there. Where all the roots are covered up. Got some roots that are still sitting out, but one thing I don't want to do is go over this level with the water. Yeah, I might add a little bit. Okay, so now I just have to take this up. I think we're gonna go ahead and scoop some of these old roots out of here, since I got this extra water here. And like I said, this isn't a truly aquaponics system because I'm not actually doing the fish any justice by using this biofilter. See, I have a perfectly good biofilter here, right? This plant is taking the ammonia out of the water for me like an ammonia filter, which is exactly what fish need. But I need to be able to get this water back into that fish tank, and the only way I'm willing to do that right now, because there was soil on here, is to use a filter. Well, I've re-taped this back down. Just kind of take this hose to the top here. I tape this down just so I don't accidentally pull it out of there. I've found sometimes that these hoses are too big for this one right here. I don't know why they would make different size hoses. Maybe it just got stretched out or worn out or whatever, but it'll just pop right off of there. So got this one over here. I also have the other one over there. And since I am just going to use this one right here, I will go ahead and get another bubbler going on in this tank over here for the fish for right now until I get my squash going. By the way, my squash, the seeds have not sprouted just as of yet. So we're still just kind of waiting on the germination process. Got it in a dark place, not warm enough, I think. Now back to the task at hand, which is removing 1/4 of this water. I've removed about 5 gallons here so far. Yeah, look at all this food down here at the bottom. You know, I was so concerned about this tank being all nasty because of the filter, but I really think it's definitely partly because of the type of food. Those pellets were working so good in there. As soon as I added those flakes, it started getting all nasty. But I guess hopefully I can mix it up enough to where it'll suck it in with the filter instead of having to use a net every day. I'll just use my hand and kind of push it into the filter. But anyway, back to draining out some of this water. Just going to go ahead and fill up another one of these totes with dirty water and throw that out. And we just about got another one of these buckets filled up here. So I'm just going to shut this off, open this back up. And you can see when I open it up, now that there's no water in there, this is what happens when I open that valve. It starts spraying it out of there. When there's water up there, you can't really tell what's going on, but that's what's going on. So just take this hose, reclamp it on here, and I'll go ahead and dump this out, scrub off the glass, and add some clean water back in there. Alright, so we got 1/4 of the water taken out, and cleaned off some of these leaves here. I'm just going to use my hand, get some of this water and scrub off these sides. And when I say scrub them off, I mean you really got to put some elbow grease in there, because I've noticed that once I get it all back together, get the lights back up, it's funny how much more, you know, hard water or slime, whatever you want to call it, is stuck on the sides here. And I'm also going to be cleaning off the bottoms as well, kind of making sure that this filter's not plugged up. But yeah, I'm going to clean off the whole fish tank like that and then add some more water. So I got all the sides and the bottom cleaned off, scrubbed off the intake, and the output a little bit. And as you can see, comparative to this mess, this pump is definitely sucking up more than the other one. I do kind of have to run my hand across the bottom to get it to go in there, but it's definitely doing a lot better than the other one. And yeah, so now I'm just going to go ahead and put some clean water back in there. Gonna hook up my hose to the sink, my garden hose to the sink, so that I can run some water upstairs to one of these totes. Put some water conditioner in there, and then let the pump put it back in. So, like I've said in previous videos, I have all kinds of plans here. You know, on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, you're watching this and you want to follow me on Instagram, by all means, my name's Tim Garrow, Timgarrow. If you're on Instagram and you want to watch me on YouTube, watch the full videos. It's Aquaponics World is the name of the YouTube channel. Instagram did not pay me this month, which I was really looking forward to getting my money this month. It's the first time I've actually needed any of that money to kind of replenish my costs. But I do have quite a few plans going here. So one is I want to get a second pump so I can pump and filter the plant water back into the fish tank. And I have all kinds of ideas going on. So my next thing that I'd like to do is to get a 500-gallon outdoor tank going. I've been looking into outdoor methods, and I've found some really good ideas. I think what I'm going to do is probably use some plywood or some wood and build, hopefully, a 500-gallon wood fish tank outdoors, and that will have like a tarp over it that keeps the water from messing up the wood and whatnot. And hopefully I can get some tilapia, some koi, something like that. Maybe get a koi fish pond going. But I'll show you guys that more later. Okay, so like I've shown you in other videos, just use my tap. I got a garden hose hooked up to my sink. Just use my tap water to fill up one of these 5-gallon totes. Use some water conditioner, anything that'll take the chlorine out of the water. And there's a lot of different products out there, so you know, just make sure that you know you're not getting the wrong product. You know, it's just maintenance water conditioner is what you want. Oh, and I've already added this in. I've waited my 5 minutes. I don't know what I'm doing. Just gonna take this hose, put it in here, and I am gonna close the inlet and open this. And that'll suck the water from there back into the tank. I am just gonna use the pump to suck out all this water here, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm not sucking in air, so I just gotta kind of keep an eye on the pump and make sure that the water level doesn't get too low. So I'm just kind of keeping the hose at the bottom, and once the water level drops down to a certain point, then I can just go ahead and shut the valve off. So as you can see, it's down to just about an inch or so, and I definitely don't want it to suck up any air. So at this point, I'm just going to shut this off and reopen this valve here. Get some more tap water. Welcome to another edition of Aquaponics World. Just wrapping up this cleaning. As you can see that I have cleaned the glass, and sometimes as you're letting it dry you'll start to see some more residue on there. So, you know, it's a really good time to clean the glass while you have the water level down, so that you can kind of splash around in there and not make a huge mess. But I've already added 5 gallons of water, and I am going to add another 5 gallons. I got this full of tap water. I've already added my water conditioner. I've waited the 5 minutes. I'll close the inlet and open this. I have added 10 gallons of clean water back into the tank, and I still have a few more gallons left to put back in. So I'm going to fill up another 5-gallon tote with some tap water, put my dechlorinator in there, wait the 5 minutes, and then I will top it off and I'll be all done. As you can see, got the bubbler in here, got the water level just above the roots and below the plant. Got the plant kind of leaning to the side here, hanging off here. Got both the different types of fish in there. Fed them both. Bottom's all clean. The pump has done its job, unlike this nasty tank over here, which I am done with that pump. Don't get one of these pumps. What you want is something that goes to the bottom. Okay, so right now I'm just filling up this little bit of water here. Got a 5-gallon tote of tap water that I've let sit with the water conditioner for 5 minutes. Got the intake valve in there, this opened up, this closed off, and I'm just kind of keeping an eye on this water level as I suck this in, because I'm not sure if that is full 5 gallons. Seems kind of strange because I've already added 10 gallons back in, but going on 15 gallons getting added back in. But I did use some of this water for the plant. So yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to get another 5-gallon tote to fill this up the rest of the way. Don't want to overfill it, but I do want it up to that top level there. So we've got to keep an eye on both this so we don't suck in air through this hose, and keep an eye on that so I don't overfill it. Well, it's already getting dark outside, and I got a late start to doing this. I wish I had the lights off. I do like to turn the lights on and off when the sun comes up and goes down, but I'm gonna get the lights off here pretty soon. Already just about finished. Got about another inch of water here. I've already put 15 gallons back in because I did take 5 gallons out for the plant, even though I only used about 2 gallons of it. So this water is tap water, been sitting here for 5 minutes with the water conditioner. And now all I am trying to do is just top it off. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that as this sucks in, to make sure that I don't put all of this in here because it would overflow. So that's about that. It's about full to the top here. Go ahead and shut this off. Open this inlet valve back up. And reconnect this to this clip here. And we are all done. Oh yeah, and one last thing. We're just gonna go ahead and add this Aquaponics plant fertilizer to it. And because this stuff is 1 capful to 50 gallons, I think that it's mainly for the bigger tanks. I don't know if they sell it for smaller tanks or, you know, smaller measurements. I'm sure you could do a half a cap for a smaller tank, but Anyway, I do add water 5 gallons at a time, so I can't add this to the 5-gallon totes. So I just add this straight to the tank. And that's that. And that is the water that's feeding this plant, the nutrients feeding this plant, as well as the nutrients feeding this plant. See you guys later.